Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some incredible new updates about Garten of Banban 8. Why incredible? Because some official new messages have just been revealed and they come straight from Geppo, one of the euphoric brothers. And guess what? These messages are not just random text. They are directly connected to another message we talked about a few days ago. And even more exciting, they're linked to one of the most mysterious and beloved characters in the whole series, Captain FIDDLES. Yes, we might finally be getting official new information about him in the next chapter. Captain FIDDLES has been at the center of so many theories and mysteries, but we still don't know the full truth about his role in the facility. So today we're going to dive into these new cryptic messages, try to figure out what the euphoric brothers are hinting at, and build some new theories about what we might see in the highly anticipated Garten of Banban 8. But before we get into the analysis, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Here we cover all the latest updates about Garten of Banban, theories, trailers, gameplay, and so much more. So if you want to stay in the loop, you know what to do. Get ready, because what we're about to uncover today might completely change the way we've been interpreting Captain FIDDLES all this time. And maybe, just maybe, these messages are hiding clues about the true villain of the next chapter. If we remember, a few days ago Geppo wrote, "We don't choose where we fall." Well, get ready, because what we're about to discover might change everything we thought we knew. It turns out that wasn't the first time Geppo wrote that phrase. In fact, he had already written it a few days earlier, but in a very specific context. The first time he posted it, the message was accompanied by some yellow FIDDLES stickers, one of the members of the Captain FIDDLES crew. At that time, no one could say for sure if that phrase was really related to the game, or just a random cryptic post meant to confuse us. In fact, Geppo didn't confirm anything, and the message went almost unnoticed until yesterday, when he posted the exact same phrase again: "We don't choose where we fall." But this time, things were completely different, because the second message is the one we analyzed together in yesterday's video, and there we finally got the official confirmation. That phrase is directly connected to Garten of Banban 8. It's no longer just a theory or a guess, it's part of the official lore. And it doesn't stop there, because today, by looking more closely at the context of that first message, we can now say with growing certainty that this phrase is connected to Captain FIDDLES and his crew. And that changes everything, because until now, Captain FIDDLES has been a mysterious character, almost on the sidelines, used more to create creepy vibes than to truly tell his story. But if this message, repeated twice by one of the game's developers, really refers to him, then it means that Chapter 8 might finally reveal the past or fate of Captain FIDDLES. Maybe we'll find out where he fell, what that phrase really means in the context of his story, and whether he truly didn't choose his destiny, or if someone forced him into it. There are so many possibilities and hidden clues in those words. And now, in the next part of the video, we're going to dive even deeper to try and figure out what is Geppo really trying to tell us. Now let's try to connect the pieces and give a deeper explanation to the message, "We don't choose where we fall," directly linking it to Captain FIDDLES. How? Well, there are at least two main theories, and the first one is related to one of the most fascinating and surreal elements in the whole series, Stinger Flynn's dreams. As we all know, starting from Chapter 3, Stinger Flynn began showing us dream sequences where we find ourselves in strange places, and guess who always shows up in those dreams, silently and eerily? Captain FIDDLES. Captain FIDDLES never speaks, he just appears, almost like. And here's where things get really interesting, because Stinger Flynn will very likely return in Chapter 8, which means there's a high chance that we'll experience another dream or vision. And this is where the theory begins. What if the phrase, "We don't choose where we fall," is directly connected to this new dream? What if it's Captain FIDDLES himself who says this phrase for the very first time right inside a dream sequence created by Stinger Flynn? Picture the scene. We find ourselves in an unreal environment, just like in the past chapters. We're walking through a strange space, maybe a place filled with memories or forgotten experiments. Suddenly we see Captain FIDDLES, and for the first time ever he speaks, and he says, "We don't choose where we fall." Right after that, something shocking happens. Maybe we see him falling into the void, or maybe we are the ones who fall, unable to stop it. And then it happens. Just like in many dreams, we wake up suddenly. It's a narrative trick that also makes sense on a psychological level. In dreams, the moment of falling is one of the most common triggers for waking up. So the phrase spoken by Captain FIDDLES could be a key signal, a clue that leads us right into one of the central moments of Chapter 8, the revelation of FIDDLES' past or pain, trapped in dreams and unable to change his fate. Now let's move on to the second theory, which is completely different from the previous one. This time we're not talking about dreams, visions, or mental illusions, but about something that could actually happen in the real storyline of the game, as we explore a new area or face a major moment in Chapter 8. In fact, even though Captain Fiddles hasn't directly appeared in the real world of the game so far, we've known something very important for a while now. The Euphoric brothers have said multiple times that Captain Fiddles will be a major character in the series. So he's not just some background monster. Captain Fiddles is part of the main lore, and his role will become more and more important as we get closer to the heart of the story. And if we think about it carefully, the clues are already there. In Chapter 2, for example, we made a very disturbing discovery: the lifeless bodies of the Captain Fiddles crew. The only one still alive was Aqua Fiddles. But you know who wasn't there? Exactly, Captain Fiddles. He wasn't among the bodies. Not among the living, not among the dead. This detail immediately sparked a lot of theories, because if his crew was wiped out or destroyed, then he must have survived. And this is where the phrase "we don't choose where we fall" gains an even deeper meaning, this time tied to a real event in the gameplay. Picture this: our character is exploring a new area and suddenly we fall. We fall unexpectedly with no way to stop it. A fall that we didn't choose, just like the message says. And what happens after the fall? We wake up in a place we've never seen, and there, for the very first time, we meet Captain Fiddles in person. In this second theory, the phrase "we don't choose where we fall" becomes a new information. We don't get to decide where we end up, but the game will lead us exactly where it wants to, and in that place, we might discover the truth about Captain Fiddles. And now we come to an extra theory, one that is not directly connected to Captain Fiddles, but in my opinion, still deserves to be shared with you. It's a theory I found online, and even though I think it's not very likely, I still find it very interesting and fascinating, especially for those who love analyzing every little detail. According to this theory, the phrase written by Geppo might not be tied to a specific moment in the story or to any particular character, but instead could be related to the final credit screen. As we all know, in Chapter 0, the Euphoric brothers introduced for the first time a proper credit screen, complete with ending titles and an original music track. In that case, the song was Amnesia, and here's the thing: we already have official confirmation from the developers that Chapter 8 will also feature a credit screen. So there will be a new song, and obviously another emotional moment at the end of the game. And according to this extra theory, the phrase "we don't choose where we fall" could be directly connected to the song that will play during the Chapter 8 credits. It could be a line from the lyrics, maybe part of the chorus or the ending, or it could even be the actual title of the song. Think about it. It wouldn't be too far-fetched. The Euphoric brothers are known for putting hidden meanings into their final songs, and they often use music to deliver messages about loneliness, memory, loss, and falling. Themes that fit perfectly with the phrase, "we don't choose where we fall." Of course, as I mentioned, this is just an extra theory, and there's no concrete proof to confirm it. But considering that the ending songs have become an important part of the Garten of Banban experience, it wouldn't be surprising at all if this mysterious phrase was actually connected to that final segment. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end. You are amazing. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.